Hola and welcome to Eyiyemi's Green Kitchen. Today we're making yam and eggs. And as usual, you know that I always do something different, that I never cook the same way that everybody else cooks. And I'm not sure I ever mentioned to you why I started eating healthier. Well, here's the thing with life. You hit a certain age and you realize that you're not going to live forever. And even if you are, you want to enjoy the rest of your life in good health. So I changed my cooking practices and my cooking methods and the stuff that I put in my body. Was it easy? No. Is it now enjoyable? Yes. Has it become second nature? Yes. So, without boring you, let me show you what's going to go into our eggs and our yam. We have red onions, we have turmeric, we have tomatoes, we have garlic, we have pepper. You know how much I love pepper, Abby? Yes. Then we have ginger, and we have more pepper, like as if the pepper is not enough. I've also chopped up some ugu leaves, and I'm going to chop up some spinach as well, which is going to go into the eggs. If you have cheese and stuff that you want to add in, you can. Once I go to the cooker, I'm going to add a few more things into it. I fry my eggs with a mixture of coconut oil and unsalted butter. My unsalted butter is wholly organic. The coconut oil is cold pressed, extra virgin, and made in Nigeria. And then I'm going to add some of the Titus fish. I love Titus fish or mackerel. I mean, it's an oily fish and it's good fats for the human body. Some people don't like the smell. I completely love the way that it smells. I love the way it tastes. Once I have that in my freezer, I can do without meat. There's some people who they have to eat that meat. Me, I can do without it. I'm actually quite fine with it. So it looks like quite a lot of stuff that is going to go into the eggs, but it's also going to help you. It's filling. I mean, if you have it for breakfast, you can probably go on like 4 or 5 hours without having another meal. Not advisable. You're supposed to eat every 3 hours. I know that sounds a lot, but it's not. So after that or before that, we're going to cut our yam and then wash it. So while we're standing here, I'm going to cut the yam. I like the end of yam, but some people don't. So I'm just going to cut everything. I'm going to make a few slices, so I'm going to mark it off to see what the slices I'm going to cook are. So let's say 4 slices. And then I'm going to cut the yam. Now I'm sure you're wondering why I'm not peeling. But you will see, all will be revealed very shortly. So before I go ahead, I'm going to take a break and I'll be right back. Welcome back. So I'm going to show you how I wash my yam. I use a hard brush, and yes, the skin is still on. I discovered that most of the nutrients of the yam is directly under the skin. So when we peel away, what we've done is we've peeled away most of the things that are beneficial to our bodies, and what we're eating is the rest of the shaft. So I also do not boil the yam in water. What I do is I steam it. So after I've washed the skin with the hard brush, as you have seen, I now cut it in slices. Now your slices can be as thin or as fat as you want them to be. It's like boiling the yam. There really isn't that much of a difference. So that's it, and it goes into the bamboo steamer. Okay, and so once it goes into the bamboo steamer, and it's like boiling your yam, time it for about 15-20 minutes. And the same way you check for yam in water to see whether it's done. You stick it with a fork or a sharp knife, and you know the consistency that the yam will be. It will go in and come out and look like as if it has little crumbs in it. So that means your yam is done. So I've set my timer, 15-20 minutes, we'll check this. While this is going on, we're going to go and mix our eggs and start frying our eggs. But stay where you are, don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So today I said earlier we're making yam and eggs, and we're making yam and eggs with a twist. We're not boiling our yam in water, but but we're steaming our yam in a bamboo steamer. And I'm sure you're wondering why. I didn't take off the peel because I discovered a few years ago that most of the nutrients are directly under the skin. And when you peel the skin of yam, you peel away those nutrients. So when it's steaming or boiling, all you have left is the shaft of the yam. I know you're thinking, why was the yam made so big if all the nutrients are going to be directly under the skin? I don't know, you might have to ask God on that one, but science has proven it, and for me, that's more than okay. So when I finish steaming the yam under 20 minutes, what I do is I now peel off the skin because the nutrients have now entered the yam, and I can eat my yam in comfort. So up to our eggs now. So we're going to make some eggs, and I've already showed you all the ingredients that we have going into the eggs. So let's break some eggs, and there are quite a few of us here today. So yeah, you know when we cook, we don't cook for ourselves, Abby. It's for the people on set. So we're going to make as many eggs as possible. Some people add milk to their eggs. If you so wish, I'm not averse to milk, but I didn't have today, so it's fine. Somebody has also told me that you can add water to the eggs when you want to mix them, that it makes them fluffier. I've tried that. It works, but if you don't have, it's more than okay. Also, I use a whisk, which you can see. And I was going to mention, don't throw your eggshells away. You're wondering, really? Why? Well, two things you can use them for. Scoring powder for your bathtub, yes. So you can dry it out. And when you've dried them out, you can grind them and then use it or add it to your scoring powder and use it to wash your bathtubs. Second, if you plant or you have a vegetable garden, you can use it as fertilizer. So that's organic fertilizer. Dry it out the same way. If you have a blender dedicated, you can dedicate a blender to it. I just crush it. I can be lazy. So I just crush it together and I throw it into the soil and it serves the same purpose. They say it takes longer to degrade, but it's okay. It's all going to degrade. So we're going to whisk our eggs. I remember when I was learning to whisk eggs, and this was like, if I tell you how many years ago, I'll be giving away my age, but maybe like 20, 25 years ago, and we started with forks. I mean, that was exercise. I mean, your wrist will be killing you. And the person who I used to whisk eggs for used to bake cakes, so you can imagine how many eggs you were whisking. And there was no way I'd take my eyes away from the whisking because if not, the eggs will be on the table. Now I can do it in my sleep. Almost. So once the eggs start to froth, it's light enough for you to put on the fire. So while we're doing that, don't go away, we'll be right back because I need to transfer all these things towards the cooker and I don't want you to see me going back and forth. You know I only have two hands. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So we're about to fry the eggs. I put the gas on. I put the frying pan on to heat up. And I'm going to start with extra virgin cold pressed coconut oil. Maybe about 2 tablespoons. We're frying about 6 eggs. Then I'm going to put a tablespoon of butter. It seems like a lot, but it's good fat. So I need the butter to melt. Don't do this. That's why we have wooden spatulas. But you know when you're so used to cooking, you just do all sorts of stuff. So we're going to put in the onions. Remember, I like onions. I'm going to turn down the heat a bit so I don't burn my onions before I put in everything else. That's the timer for the yam. See, things work together for good. Off, garlic, a bit of ginger, some pepper. Okay, let me be good. Let me not use everything. Some turmeric. A bit more pepper. This is not as hot as the yellow pepper, so I can be generous. Tomatoes. and I stir. At this point, you can add your salt and pepper to the vegetables in the frying pan. And it's not restricted to these vegetables. I'm going to increase the heat a bit. So whatever it is you have at home, you can throw into the eggs. It's just to make it as yummy as possible. Some salt. I'm using French grey salt. I just like all the names of these salts. They're just so amazing. And the colors. And then black pepper. So once we've sauteed the vegetables for about 5 minutes, and you can tell when the vegetables are almost done, when the onions have turned translucent. And then in go the eggs. So it's almost like an egg pizza. I'm one of those people who likes to get everything out of the bowl. If I was doing this at home, I'd have used my hands. But perhaps I should respect myself. I'm going to put a bit of the Titus fish, as I said earlier on. So the skin is good. There's nothing wrong with the skin. And I've deboned it, so hopefully there are no more bones. And after saying that, I see one bone. I've deboned it too. And you can lift the egg so that the runny part falls to the sides, because it's going to be quite difficult to flip this over. Well, there are methods, there are ways, but... And I don't want to break it up. And then I add some of my vegetables. Remember, I have two types of vegetables, ugu and spinach. And I reduce the heat. And let it cook. I'm going to borrow the cover from my bamboo steamer and use it to cover this, because when I fry the eggs, I like all the heat to be inside, because since I can't turn the eggs because of the amount of stuff in it. I mean, you could put a plate over it and turn it and put it back, but that's a bit, I've not mastered that. So I'm going to borrow the cover of the bamboo steamer since the yam is done and put it over the eggs, and then we'll go away and we'll be right back. Thank you. Yes, perfect fit. Yay! So you see our eggs are done, and we can now dish up. I've already peeled the yam, and the yam doesn't look any different like as if it was boiled in water now, does it? So this I'm going to cut up like a pizza. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Some people are going to be looking at me and saying, now wow, all this vegetable inside this thing. Perhaps we should have done without the vegetable. Don't worry, it's all good. Ooh. So it might not be pretty, but the intention was for it to be pretty. And there you go. So fresh produce today was provided by Fresh to Domot. They are convenient, pocket-friendly, clean, fresh, and neatly packaged. We had yam and eggs today, and yam had everything but the kitchen sink. Well, well, not really. I mean, we had onions, we had tomatoes, we had peppers, red and yellow peppers, we had turmeric, we had ginger, we also had Titus fish, and then 2 types of vegetables, ugu and spinach. So that's it for today. You've been watching Eyiyemi's Green Kitchen, and my name remains Eyiyemi. See you soon.